Well, hi there. So we have Dan Davies here today with us from AbleLink Smart Living Technologies, one of the Inclusive Design Challenge semifinalist winners. Dan, it's great to talk to you. And I was wondering, to start us off, could you just, briefly describe your project, the accessibility challenge it's intended to address, and how it works?
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the opportunity to share about our project. We're very excited to be, one of the semifinalists for the Inclusive Design Challenge. Our project is focused on helping meet the needs of people with cognitive disabilities when it comes to transportation, and in particular, having the ability to have access in an independent way to automated vehicles as they come online. It's a great, exciting new technology that really can have a life-changing impact for people with cognitive disabilities, because people with cognitive disabilities are often dependent upon others for transportation, maybe family members or agencies that they receive services for. They staff from those agencies will take individuals to work and to the doctor, and there's very limited independence when it comes to transportation for the individuals themselves. So our project is focused on helping change that. Technologies available through automated vehicles to enable people with cognitive disabilities to have more independence and self-determination with respect to traveling when and where they want to, and really have the freedom that comes with independent transportation.
Yeah, absolutely. So where did the idea for this project come from? How has it evolved since you started working on it?
Here, the idea for this project is it's a natural outgrowth to the work we've been doing over the last decade, helping people with cognitive disabilities in the area of transportation. Our WayFinder ecosystem is a set of technologies that are currently in use in a number of cities around the country to help people with cognitive disabilities ride fixed route transportation and learn how to independently take the bus and not be dependent upon paratransit or others for that travel. The opportunity with the Inclusive Design Challenge was, as I said, a natural extension to further enable independence for individuals in areas where there's no bus available. There's many parts of the country, rural areas and suburbs that are not served by transit organizations. So there's a significant need for people with cognitive disabilities to travel to work, to the doctor, to their friends, family, in those settings as well. So the Inclusive Design Challenge project focused on accessibility to automated vehicles fits very well with addressing those needs for people with cognitive disabilities when the bus isn't an option. And it opens the door for them to not be dependent upon family and friends or organizations to be able to get to where they want to and when they need to. So that was a natural extension from our current work with WayFinder. And we see this as a great addition to the whole WayFinder ecosystem.
Yeah, and as we think about those impacts that you're mentioning that it can have on these communities, we were wondering, how have you engaged with the disabled community during your project, and how has that input, shaped the process or the outcome of the project?
Sure. Yeah, we recognize the critical importance of including the stakeholders in the technology in all phases of development of technology and testing of the technology. We've been doing that for years with our company in a variety of areas beyond transportation. And we continue to do that with the transportation area in this project by including individuals with disabilities themselves in our steering committee, family members of individuals with disabilities in the steering committee, and or representatives from national organizations. We have representatives from AIDD, which is AAIDD, which is the American Association on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. Their executive director is on our committee. We have the co-director of the Coleman Institute on Cognitive Disabilities at the University of Colorado on our committee. We have one of the president-elect of RESNA, the Rehab Engineering Society of North America, which is a large professional organization focused on technologies and supports to people with disabilities. And then we have a member from Ford AV, also as a member on our steering committee, who's already involved in accessibility and the human factors issues with respect to making automated vehicles accessible to people with a whole variety of disabilities. So we include individuals from a wide range of organizations and perspectives from the outset of the project, and they'll be involved in reviewing throughout the project, trying out the technology, seeing the prototypes, getting hands-on opportunity to provide feedback and direction, because the best way to develop technology is by involving those that are going to be the users of the technology, because addressing those needs is really what the technology needs to focus on.
Yeah, that's great. I'm wondering too, what is the most important lesson that you'd say your team has learned working on this project?
Oh, probably our most important lesson is related to what I just talked about, is having the involvement of the end user throughout the project, because you can sit in a lab and technologists love to think of all great things that technology can do, but if it's not accessible and usable by the end user, then you're kind of wasting your time. So the most important lesson is involvement of individuals with cognitive disabilities in this project from the outset, to provide that guidance that we need to be able to meet the needs that the technology is designed to meet.
Absolutely. And what would you say is kind of your broader vision for AVs and their social impact? How does your work on this project fit into maybe that broader vision?
Well, transportation is really at the heart of living a fulfilled life for individuals, and being able to work requires transportation. There's many individuals we've worked with over the years that, haven't had the opportunity to have a job because they have no transportation there. The opportunity to engage in the community and get out and with your friends and family and go places is dependent also on the freedom of transportation, and automated vehicles in a broader way is really brings that freedom to individuals that have never had that freedom before. And so it's really, while they're exciting maybe for anyone to look at the opportunities with automated vehicles, it truly is life-changing for folks with disabilities that have been fully dependent upon others to meet their transportation needs. And automated vehicles provides them, it basically puts them in the driver's seat of being able to get where they want to, when they want to, and having that freedom of travel.
That's great. And are there any kind of final takeaways that you'd want the audience to know about your project, about AbleLink, the importance of this topic in general?
One of the things that's particularly important, I think, with the Inclusive Design Challenge and the focus that the Department of Transportation has put on accessibility with respect to automated vehicles, is so often the needs of people with disabilities is an afterthought with respect to technology developments. And with the Inclusive Design Challenge, the Department of Transportation is really looking ahead and not wanting to exclude folks with cognitive disabilities or other disabilities from the opportunities to benefit from this new technology, and allow them to be able to benefit from it at the same time everyone else is, not waiting 5 years or 10 years later, when finally the technology development organizations turn their attention to the needs of people with disabilities, which are oftentimes overlooked.
Well, using mass transit might be easy for some, but for those with disabilities, it can be near impossible. But now there's an app for that being tested now.
OSU, CODA, and Smart Columbus are all working on it. NBC4's Eric Halperin talked with someone using it, and he's in Columbus now with how it all works.
Directions in the app can be customized for every user. They'll get them when they're at the bus stop, on the bus, at their final stop, and more. Riding a CODA bus was something Jose had never done before.
Stay on bus till North High Street in Chatham.
That was until this past year, when he started using the WayFinder app.
It's great. It's very helpful.
He's visually impaired. The app is specially designed to help people with cognitive disabilities ride public transit. Depending on the user, the app gives audio, text, and visual directions. Jose mostly uses the audio features.
To let me know that once we get there, it can pull the cord.
Smart Columbus helped bring the application to Columbus and is working with OSU and CODA. The pilot phase of the project ends in April.
The project's very important, helping to provide mobility services for all of our residents here in Columbus.
Right now, there are 20 people using it along with their caregivers. Jose's is Josh Cook, who works with ARC Industries, a group dedicated to helping people with disabilities.
With this, they can walk out to the bus stop, they can go where they want, when they want, they can feel confident in doing that. And also on a caretaker side, you can be confident that they're being taken care of.
Your stop is soon. Get ready to get off the bus.
Recognize the voice? It's Josh's. Caregivers can record their own directions that are best for the people they're working with. There are also a number of safety features like tracking built in. Wednesday, Jose was going to the library. Because of the project, he's been able to go to places like North Market and others around Columbus he had never been before.
So you've enjoyed getting to go to all these places?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why I encourage a lot of people to take the bus.
You might be thinking, so what if someone's dropped off at the stop, but there's still a walk to their final destination? The app will seamlessly switch to walking directions once they're off the bus.